Hi, everybody. I am so excited. I'm Sandy Sandler, the creator of the Bowdabra Bowmaker, and today I'm here with Nick Kretikos of Nick's Seasonal Decor. And at my end, I have Tessa behind the computer running the software, and we have Alex at Nick's who's videoing. So we'll be able to take all your questions, and I'm going to hand it off to Nick, and we're going to get started. So here you go, Nick.
Hi everyone. It's been forever. So it's so nice to be back with you guys. And as you can see, there's a different setup. So we are filming on a new table. I might look a little low right now, and that is because we ordered a chair. It's just not in yet. But it's really nice to be back, and we're going to be using our Bowdabra, of course. So this is the large Bowdabra, and it comes with a wand. And as some of you guys may recall, because it has been, it's several months now, right? So it's really nice to be back. But this right here goes into the middle and it compresses the ribbon. So if you've been here before, you know that I don't really use this a whole lot. So first things first, we are going to be placing a piece of our Bowdabra wire. So this is the gold wire. We carry this both in gold and silver, as well as the large Bowdabra at nicksseasonaldecor.com. And first things first is to cut a length. So Sandy has yelled at me in the past because I usually am a little bit wasteful with my wires, but it comes on a 100-yard spool, and I get between 6 and 8 months use out of each roll. So it's really economical. So I just cut about a foot on each side, so about a 2-foot piece, and we're going to place that right into the middle on the top of the Bowdabra.
Hi everyone, it's so good to be back again. Hello Shirley, thank you for watching.
Yeah, so Alex is behind the camera. For those of you that don't know Alex, Alex is my sister, and she is the best camera woman in the world. So we're going to start with this pretty gingham, and this is kind of like a more, what would you say, upscale gingham. So it has that black stripe in the middle, and this comes in all sorts of colors, but I think the black right here matches, so many different projects and so many different styles. So first things first, and as I always tell you guys, there's so many different ways to make bows, but I'm going to show you a few different options for a funky bow. We're going to start by cutting a length of our tail, approximately about, well, I could measure it, right? So 22 to 7 to 6, what is that, like a 14-inch piece on each side, give or take. You can cut these in advance, and I'm going to show you how to do that. What you're going to do is just pinch and open it up with about a 3.5-inch loop up top and about 6 to 8-inch tails underneath. So that is one piece, and I'm going to show you just how to add this real quick, and then we're going to cut a bunch in advance. So all we're doing is we're just pinching where we have our loop and our tails and just simply placing it right into the Bowdabra.
Hi Talisha, hey Carolyn from Louisiana, hi Edna. Pirette says, glad you guys are back on Monday.
Yes, who has missed us, you guys? We are going to update our schedule. That way it's easy for you guys to access and see exactly what dates we are going to be live. So I think
Alice, Texas said hello, and Kathy Jones said hi to both.
So we're live on YouTube right now, and Talisha Miller and Kathy Jones both said hi on YouTube.
welcome, you guys. Thank you for joining. Yes, we love YouTube too, right? Social media it's awesome because we're able to connect with so many different people from so many different parts of the world. And we are here in my studio, and just clicking that live button can take you anywhere. So let me know where you guys are watching from. If you are just tuning in right now, we are giving away a free scrunchy ribbon. So at the end of this video, Joe will be picking one lucky winner for a free roll of ribbon. So all you have to do is just let us know that you're watching.
Hi Lisa, she says great to see you back.
Hi, Lisa. I see we have some regulars. It's nice to see some familiar faces again, you guys. So look, I'm just cutting these in advance. I did add a second piece because I was distracted. That is usually what happens, right, Alex? I get distracted. I say I'm going to do something, and then I skip a step. So they're all different lengths. The more loops and tails you have, the more full your bow is going to be. But it doesn't have to be exact. And I think a lot of you beginner bow makers out there really struggle with that. I think we all kind of do when we first start making bows. We are perfectionists, and we think they all have to be the same length, the same width. And the truth is that they really don't. The more irregular you can make a bow, especially this technique, I think the better it turns out.
Kathy loves this ribbon. Pirette says that ribbon is pretty. Carolyn would love to win from Louisiana.
Hey, Carolyn. Yeah, I think this ribbon, what do you think, Alex? I think this ribbon's very, very pretty.
I love it.
And like I said in the beginning, this is such a versatile ribbon because it works for so many different projects. It doesn't really matter what you're designing for, whether it's a season or a holiday, it just works great. And even non-seasonal too, right? Think every day. Some people don't want to change out their bows or their designs, for each season. Some just want it, displayed on their wall or on their door for the whole year. So all I'm doing is I'm alternating at this point. So this, welcome.
Who is it?
Carissa from McClellan, Monticello, Kentucky.
So Clarissa from Monticello, Kentucky says hi on YouTube.
Kentucky. So we've been to Kentucky for a couple hours, right? We drove through Kentucky. I would love to spend more time there. But what I was saying is I just took a piece and we're alternating. So since I have a loop on the right-hand side or your left hand, I'm going to come back in with our next loop on the opposing side. And then, in doing so, it's not really changing the look of the bow in the end. What it's really doing is it's making it easier for you to fluff it in the end. So I have 3 loops on this side. I have 3 loops on this side, so 6 loops. I have this much ribbon left. We might as well use it.
Lisa would love to win some ribbon from Southern Alabama. We have Jean from Wisconsin who says hi tonight.
Hi, Jean.
Pierrette says, I change my bows all the time. We have Debbie Phillips asking, where do you get your ribbon from?
Yes, so this ribbon, all of the ribbons we're using tonight come from nicksseasonaldecor.com. You can also pick up your Bowdabra and your wires there as well. So we have them in silver and gold. And as I mentioned earlier, Sandy yells at me because I'm a little bit wasteful, but it seems like this thing lasts forever. At least 6 to 8 months of use, 100 yards, that's a lot of wire. So imagine if this was ribbon, that would be 10 spools of ribbon that we just used. And this was a partial roll as it was. So now that we have all of the ribbon in place, what we can do then is take our wire. So since we folded this wire in half, we're going to have a cut end where the wire is cut, and then we're going to have a loop on the other side. And watch this, you guys. I can secure it like this. I can secure it like that. It doesn't matter. All we're going to do is take those 2 ends, pull them through the middle, put them through the loop, and tighten. It's as simple as that.
Hi, Nelda. Hi, Jill.
Hey, Nelda. And we have Jill here too. Welcome, Jill. Carolyn loves this ribbon. Hey, Lulu. So then what I'm doing is I'm just tying it. So I always like to tie it 3 times. If it fails, if I tie it just once and it fails, shame on me. If I do it twice, I think, it could still be, on me. If I tie it 3 times and the wire breaks, then it's meant to be. So 3 times, if not more. Then what I do is, I think we're going to save this bow for the wreath. What do you think? I think that would be pretty with this greenery and these flowers. I think that would look good.
I think so. I love this flowers.
So let me know down below, you guys, would you rather see the wreath that we're going to make tonight with this bow or with the next bow we're going to make? And I guess I can make this bow and have you guys tell me as it is. So this is just a beige burlap. This is definitely a staple, an industry staple. And if you're a designer, if you're a wreath maker, if you just love ribbon, this is something that I'm sure you have seen before, and I'm sure you probably have. So just a basic burlap ribbon. It's one of my favorites. And the first thing we got to do is we got to cut another length of wire.
Catherine says, I really need this to help with my arthritis.
Yes, it definitely helps with arthritis, carpal tunnel, or if you just struggle with making bows by hand. And there's no shame in that, you guys.
I can vouch that it helps.
Yes, it definitely helps. So holding ribbons in your hand, if you're putting a tight grip on it, it definitely can do some damage over time. But this acts as like a third hand. It holds everything in place. If you have to step away for a few minutes, you're not going to run into any issues because it's just going to stay exactly where you put it. But first things first, we're going to do a slightly different bow technique. We are going to start with a length of tails. The longer you cut them, I think the better. So I really like to have long tails. These are about 24 inches on each side, give or take.
Hi, Debbie, watching from Mississippi tonight.
Hey, Debbie.
Hi, Jody. Hi, Pamela.
Welcome.
Pamela says black and white bow.
Yeah, I think that would look nice with the pink flowers. But we're going to just take our tails and see the middle, like I said. All we're going to do is just put that right inside.
We have Jeannie watching from Douglasville, Pennsylvania tonight, and Despina, who says hi, Nick and Alex.
Hey, Despina, nice to see you. Yes, we have our regulars back. It's so nice to have you guys. Hey, Melissa. So Dad is here as well, you guys. Julie's from Wales, UK. Hey, Julie. So we're going to start with a different technique. So same technique. The only difference between this one and the last bow is that we added our tails, and the last bow, we cut our loops that we worked in separately. Today, or this bow, what we're going to do is just place our ribbon inside, have about a 6 to 8 inch tail, and rotate our Bowdabra. So there is our next loop. And we'll just repeat this process and cutting off our
And
tail as we go.
for the life of me, Nick, I cannot rotate. It just
Really?
doesn't work. No, I have to keep it straight.
Yeah, so what I say in older videos, and I got to get my lingo back, but I always tell you guys is that every tool from your scissors to your Bowdabra to your wires, you're going to have to kind of figure out what works best for your hands. So I like to rotate my Bowdabra, but I'd say the vast majority of people are more comfortable keeping it stationary and not moving it and actually rotating your hands. But either way works great. You're just going to have to figure out what works best for you. So if you've struggled with making bows on the Bowdabra in the past, try my technique. And if you've tried mine and mine hasn't clicked, try Sandy's.
Parrot says I rotate.
So Pierrette rotates?
Yes.
Do you know what
Hey,
I'm finding
Kathy.
is people that have made bows by hand for years tend to rotate, whereas those of us who could
Really?
never make a bow without Bowdabra tend not to rotate. So it's kind of funny.
Huh, I didn't know that. I find it easiest to rotate, but like I said, just play around with it. When you first get your Bowdabra, just get comfortable using it. Take some ribbons and just place it inside. You don't even have to make a bow. The more comfortable you are with the Bowdabra, or any tool for that matter, the easier it's going to become to use.
Lulu says have a meet and greet when you're in California.
Yeah, so you guys, we are heading to California. Is it this Sunday?
This Sunday.
This
Yeah.
Sunday for the very first time ever. I've never been to any of those states, right?
West
California,
Coast.
Nevada, the whole West Coast. I've never been.
Where in
So
California are you guys going?
We are starting off in San Diego, and then we're gonna end up in San Francisco.
Oh,
So
that'll be
Alex is the
fun.
planner, clearly. I am just there for encouragement.
Melissa says, Sandy, I can't rotate either.
So that's 3
Yeah.
loops, and then so we have a total of 5 loops here. Now let's work in one more so that we have 6. So what I always tell you too is that, let me just push my headphone in, is that it doesn't matter how many loops you have on each side. So earlier I said a lot of you guys are very specific with your measurements, and if things are slightly off, you seem to, kind of shut down. And that all comes from, personal experience, right? I've done that before. So I have 3 loops on each side. If I worked in 2 on one side and 3 on the other, or 4 on one side and 5 on the other, we'll still have a beautiful bow. So don't get too caught up in the measurements nor how many loops. Just the more that you have, the more full it's going to be. The less you have, the less full it's going to be. And it really just depends on the project you're working with. So again, take your wires to the middle, pull those 2 cut pieces through that loop, and then tighten.
So Pierrette asked
So
if it's a work trip, Nick.
it's not. So we're actually going to a family friend's wedding, and then we're going to spend a couple extra days. So all of my travel that happens for work, we've been to some beautiful places, and we've never actually had the chance to kind of tour, right, Al? So it'll be nice to kind of check out California. I mean, how many times do you go to California from Massachusetts, right? So I'm treating this like it's our last time going there, so we got to explore. But we're going to take our wires now, we're going to tighten, and simultaneously, that is the word that used to catch me when we used to film Bowdabra. We're going to flip it over and then take our wires, and again, 3 ties to really ensure that it's not going anywhere. So at this point in time, for those of you watching, let me know, do you like, well, I mean, this is not the final look, right? So don't think that this is the bow, but we're going to turn this into something beautiful. But which of these 2 bows do you like better with these pink flowers? It's kind of a toss-up. I don't know. What do you think, Al?
I like the black and white.
I think I do too, for a nice pop.
Yeah.
So we're going to fluff this out in a minute, but I want to place this on a grapevine. I know lots of you are anxious to see a wreath being made. It's been a long time. So we're going to take our bow, And what I do is I just lie it flat on top of my grapevine.
Beverly says, great teacher.
Thank you, Beverly. Yeah, how many of you guys have seen me here on Bowdabra in the past? But all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my wire, bring it underneath. Is that what I'm going to do?
We have Marla watching from Texas tonight, Terry watching from Augusta, Georgia, Christy from South Carolina. We have Patricia from West Virginia. Welcome, everyone.
Welcome, you guys. Hey, Ellen, black and white. Yes, that's the one we're going for. So we're going to take each wire, bring it from behind, and then tie it in the front.
Lots of black and white.
Yeah, I think this is going to look really pretty. And look, we have no tails on this bow. So it goes to show you don't need tails in every project. There's so many different ways to create a beautiful bow. And at this point, we can cut off our wire. So now that we've tied it to the wreath, we no longer need that little excess. And this is all I'm wasting from this wire, you guys. So I'm really proud of that. Not much at all.
I'm proud of you, Nick.
Thank you, Sandy. All right, so now is the most important step. It is going to be, well, two, right? Two really important steps, fluffing and dovetailing. So to dovetail your tails, you're going to take them, fold them in half, and cut from the middle out towards the wired edge at an angle. And look at how much better that looks than this. What do you guys think? I mean, it's just night and day. So do that to all of your tails. It does add an extra minute or so, but it is worth your while. It really takes your wreaths and your bows to the next level.
Hi, Jean, watching from North Carolina. We have Joni watching from Allentown, Pennsylvania. Hi, Donna from Ohio.
Welcome, everyone.
Lisa likes the black and white ribbon.
Claudia says from the Mitten State. What's the Mitten State?
Michigan?
Michigan, Wisconsin?
Any
Just
place
thinking
cold.
I'm thinking cold too. So it was cold today. So last week, you guys, we had 85-degree weather, and today was in the 50s. I mean, it warmed up a little bit in the afternoon, but it's just crazy how we can go from 85 to like 45 and 50. I mean, that's like half the temperature.
Mm-hmm.
All right, couple more tails.
We have Crafting with Denise watching from Illinois tonight. We have Diane from Florida. Amy watching from Michigan.
Welcome, everyone. It's nice to be back. So if you guys don't mind hitting that like and that share button, I would greatly appreciate it. It helps us inspire others and hopefully will help us teach others how to make bows, because it's definitely, out of everything that we teach and everything that we do, I feel like bow making is still the number one thing that our customers and followers need help with. So we, of course, are more than happy to teach, but by sharing, we'll reach others that maybe need that help. So it's time
And
to
also
fluff.
I'm gonna interrupt real quick. On YouTube,
Yep.
we have over 700 videos showing you all different kinds of projects. So you definitely want to subscribe to the Bowdabra YouTube channel. And Nick has a YouTube
Yes.
channel also, which is Nick's Seasonal Decor.
Yes. And like I said before, there's so many different ways to use your Bowdabra. So if this doesn't help you, there's so many other bow techniques, other designers out there using it. And the best thing I can recommend is find one that kind of resonates with you. So if you don't like to rotate your Bowdabra, Sandy is your girl. She can help you with that. All right, fluffing it a little bit more. So this ribbon's a little bit on the thinner side, but it does make for a beautiful bow.
We have Jill, proudly from Wisconsin tonight. We have Deanne watching from Tennessee. Hi, Jill.
Hey, Jill.
Hi, Rosa from Houston, Texas. We have Myrna from Massachusetts.
Myrna. All right, so there is how the bow looks. Look how pretty that is. And we're going to add some flowers and some greenery now, which is going to help us, prop up these loops. So let's get to that. So first things first is some greenery. So I have a little bit of fern. And this wreath we're going to make interchangeable. So you guys know in the past we've shown you how to hot glue your stems in to make the wreath permanent. But I know lots of you guys have one or two grapevines that you love to kind of transition from season to season. And by not hot gluing your stems and just inserting them into your grapevine, you're able to repurpose that grapevine over and over again. And then when your florals look tired, you can just toss them and then switch them up for the next season.
Susie says, bows are hard to create for me.
Well, not after this, Susie. We got you covered.
Nick makes it
Jerry
really
says,
easy.
love the bow.
Thank you, Sandy.
Debbie says,
Oh,
love
Amy,
the
thank you.
Bowdabra.
Okay, fluff it out. So lately I've
Do you
been
know
loving
what's
the
cool?
organic.
Oh, I was
Go
just
ahead.
going to say what's really cool is Nick has his way of doing it. And then when I do my wreaths, I actually just throw everything in the Bowdabra, tie it off, and then tie it onto the wreath. So you get all the silks and everything in the Bowdabra. So it's a totally
Yeah,
different style.
totally different. Yeah, and there's so many different ways, you know, they're all equally beautiful. It just depends on the look you're going for. So we're going to just take this greenery, and since I cut these stems a little bit longer, they insert into the grapevine really easily, and they'll stay in place, you know, for the duration of the wreath. So until you decide to take them out and switch it for whatever season or holiday is coming up, they'll stay in place.
Patricia says, I can't wait to try this funky bow design.
Yes, Patricia, definitely do so, and make sure to share a picture with us. So you can share pictures in the Bowdabra fan gallery, as well as Nick's Seasonal Decor crafting community. Both groups have so many talented members that use the Bowdabra and create bows. So if you're a beginner, don't be afraid of sharing your bows, because when I share pictures of my first few wreaths and bows, you know, you see the growth, right? So, you know, never be ashamed, because we're all learning. And I think Sandy can vouch for that too. I'm pretty sure
Oh,
Sandy's
gosh.
first few bows needed some work.
Yeah.
Hi, Eileen. She's watching from New York. She's watching you live with her sister, Jane, and her hubby. It's a real family affair.
Awesome, Eileen. Thank you for watching, and hello to Eileen's family.
Terry says, that style is what caught my attention. Amy says, I have a hard time learning that funky bow.
Yeah, so if you struggle with it, best thing you can do is just practice with it. So use a inexpensive ribbon and place it in your Bowdabra, make your bow, take it apart, try it again, try it again, try it again. So the more practice that you have with ribbons and bow making, the easier it's going to be, to create. So like I said with the Bowdabra,
Also,
if you're not, oh, go
I
ahead.
was going to say, Nick, the wired ribbon does make a big difference.
It definitely makes a huge difference. So all of the ribbons we're using tonight are wired.
Despina says, you always have beautiful ideas and make things seem easy.
Thank you, Despina. All right, so we're going to snip down this mixed bush. Remove the tag.
Patricia says she never knew how to tie the bow using the wire. She finds it more difficult with pipe cleaner.
Yes, so give the wire a shot. It might be easier.
Jerry says, have watched Nick make so many beautiful items. Love to watch and learn new stuff.
Thank you, Jerry. So just taking this filler bush and working it in.
Donna loves the bow with the greenery, and Amy says that fern looks so real.
Doesn't it? I think that fern's so pretty. So just sporadically adding our flowers in. And this is how it looks with just one bush of flowers and a little bit of leftover greenery. And I think I want to add the pink flowers after this, but look at how pretty that looks just with, 3 ingredients, plus the grapevine. So show some hearts if you guys like that so far, but we are not done. So let's work in our next bush. And this one is perfect for summer. Look at how bright these colors are.
Kathy would love a chance to win the ribbon tonight.
Yeah, all you have to do is just let us know, and at the end, Bowdabra will choose one lucky winner. But yes, the
And you get
studio
a roll of the
has,
scrunchy ribbon.
and you get a free roll of scrunchy ribbon. But this studio is still a work in progress, you guys, but I'm very happy with the way it's turning out. Alex chose this table, and I think you did a wonderful job on that. This table is the perfect height, and I love that it's tall. That's one of my favorite things about it.
Terry says, wow, looking full. Donna says, add more. Anne says, last year I had a large grapevine wreath. She put it on her door for Easter. And when she came home from grocery shopping, the birds pulled her flowers out and built a nest.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
See, we live in a way too chaotic of a household to have birds nest in our wreaths. You know, my family is loud, and with the door opening constantly, we never had that issue. But we actually have birds that make a house in our gutters every year, and I wonder if they're back this year.
I know.
All right, you guys, look at how pretty this turned out. No glue necessary. You can change it out depending on the season.
Lots of people would love to win tonight.
So this technique and having this is what we call this is a half grapevine, I'd say, even a quarter grapevine. But sometimes we do 3/4 where we go about to here. But the benefit of this technique is if you don't like it in the lower right, well, you can do the upper right. I'm getting confused. Upper right, lower right, and so on and so forth. You can place it in the middle. But I think it turned out really pretty.
It's gorgeous.
Amy said, I have the Bowdabra. It's time to bring it back out. That's right. Hey, Danae. We have a lot of Wreath community members here tonight. So I'll be
Yes.
seeing you guys in about a half hour or so. I actually should be working this greenery too. Let's make this really full. I just have a few scrap pieces of this greenery. Just tuck it in.
Debbie says, so beautiful. Beverly loves it. Luann says, pretty.
Thank you, guys. So with wreath making too, it does not have to be pricey. And that's one thing that, we pride ourselves with our business is that we make economical wreaths and teach you guys how to do it. So by working in this greenery, this is just leftover. We're not being wasteful. We already created a beautiful wreath using it. And now we're just putting our scraps to use. So whatever flowers you have on hand, you can turn them into something pretty. Not everything needs to be new. You can have partial pieces, just scraps. You can have one flower and make it work. So just tucking in a little of that fern. And what this fern is doing is it's acting as a filler. It's kind of bulking up our wreath, making the wreath look more substantial. And it's kind of lifting up these loops at the same time.
Melissa says, beautiful. Betty says, amazing. We have Kim watching from Georgia tonight. Lisa says she loves the bright flowers.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. All right,
And we're going to be announcing the winner really soon. And I just want to let everybody know that next week, am I doing it next week or are you doing it next week, Nick? Alex?
Let's ask the boss. I think that's it for April.
No, next week we'll be in California. So we actually will not
of course I'm doing it. Okay.
Yes.
So
yes.
Sandy will be doing
Yes.
it. Sandy,
Right.
you know
And
better than to ask me that. Alex is the one that knows everything.
Very true. That was gorgeous.
We do have
Nick.
our winner tonight, though.
Thank you.
And it looks like we do have our winner. So I do want to announce congratulations to Joy Teasley Sandlin from Texas. So you won yourself a roll of scrunchy ribbon from Bowdabra tonight. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Joy. All right, so we have 2 minutes left. We have enough time. Well, actually, instead of that, maybe I should show you how this bow turned out, right? So we're going to dovetail this really, really quick and fluff it out and just show you how pretty a bow can turn, from this. This just looks like a clump of ribbon. So don't be intimidated. Bows look ugly until they're not. Right? So we're going to just dovetail really, really quick. So both of the ribbons we used tonight were wired and both were 1.5 inch. So 1.5 inch ribbon is my favorite. We carry all widths, but 1.5 inch is my go-to for 90% of the projects that we do. All right, is that it? One more loop, and then I can show you how easy it is to fluff. So just take a good look at that bow right now in its current state and watch the difference.
Myrna asked where you can get the bow maker.
Yeah, so you can find this Bowdabra at nicksseasonaldecor.com, and while you're getting the Bowdabra, you might as well get a roll of wire too, right? So we have them in silver and gold, but the Bowdabra does come with a little sample pack of wire. So if you're looking to just kind of get started with it, it does come with, I don't know the exact length. Sandy, do you know, like roughly? I mean, it's enough to do several bows.
I think it's about 10 yards. So
about
yeah, it's enough
so
to do several bows. And you can also get the Bowdabra at Hobby Lobby or at Amazon or Bowdabra.com.
Okay, let's fluff. Why is there another tail missing?
Yes, congratulations, Joy. You can go ahead and message Bowdabra. I believe you're watching on Facebook. So you can go ahead and message Bowdabra right here on Facebook, and they'll get you all set up with your free scrunchy ribbon.
Yes, let's all congratulate Joy.
Pierrette says some of us over obsess too much fluffing.
Yeah, so don't over obsess over it. Well, I think
we gave you some applause, Nick.
Okay, and here, look how pretty that looks. So you can spend as much time as you would like, but I think that looks great as it is. So I think that is going to do it. So we made a pretty funky bow with long tails here, and we made the perfect spring and summer wreath, right? I mean, this could be hung up year-round too. So thank you all so much for joining us on our first Bowdabra Live in a while. So it's been a long time. It's nice to be back. We won't be live again this month, but we will be live twice next month and, going forward. So we will have those dates scheduled, and you guys can check nickseasonaldecor.com for our calendar once I figure another day or two before we have, the dates plugged in that. But thank you, Joy. Well, congratulations, Joy.
Thank you, Nick and
Thank you, Joe.
Alex.
Thank you, Sandy. And thank you, Tess, I believe, right? Tessa,
And I will see
for
everybody next week. So you
joining.
guys have
So
a fabulous trip.
thank you. Thank you. I'm
Thank
looking
you.
forward to it. It should be a lot of fun. So if you guys have any recommendations, I'll come back and check the comments. So for those of you that have been to California, let us know what are, some must-haves and must-dos, if you will. So thank you guys again, and we'll see you next month. Bye, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.